This morning I'm going for a walk alongside the River Dane, and I'm starting my walk in the little Peak District village of Wincle, which is quite close to Macclesfield. But before I start my walk, I'm going to call in at Wincle Brewery and see how the beer is made.
Hi, my name's Grant and I work at Wincle Brewery. We make about 12 sort of core range beers throughout the year. We brew probably between 20 and 30 different ones throughout the year as seasonals and specialty beers as well. We're a very traditional brewery in the sense of traditional English.
Right.
Yeah, we are in the heart of the peaks, and we have a lot of walking facilities around us, and we have a brewery shop as well, so yeah.
Right, and you make all your own beer here by the look of it?
Yeah, everything's made on site. The only thing that's not done on site is bottling, so we send our bottles to Cumbria to be bottled. Okay. Everything else up to kegging and sending out to pubs. We do our own delivery up to a 45-mile radius.
Right. And would it be possible just to have a little quick look at the vats and just a quick explanation of how it works?
Cold liquor, hot liquor, water when it comes into a brewery turns into liquor. Don't ask me why, it's an old thing. You've got down here the mash tun. So the mash tun is where the malted barley goes.
Yeah.
So there's a grist hopper at the top full of grains.
Oh yeah.
Comes down through, gets hydrated and sits in there for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Comes through this little vessel here, which is called a hot back. So we use it as sort of a centrifugal filter. The breeze sits in the middle.
Yeah.
The copper used to be made out of copper. It's really just a great big kettle with three big elements in the middle.
Right. A bit like a still, is it, or?
Kind of. Yeah. Very similar. Yeah. So it boils what we call wort. That evaporates some water off of it. It sterilises it. It helps extract the alpha acids from the hops.
Right.
Helps proteins break down. It does a lot of great things in there.
A lot of technical stuff happens in there.
Technical stuff happens in there.
Right. And everything's stainless by the look of it, obviously?
Everything's 308 stainless, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a Malrex kit, so we use Malrex kits.
Right. Yeah, and then so the end process is what happens at the end then after all this?
Boiled, it runs through that blue thing there, which is called a heat exchanger.
Oh yeah.
So we cool it down from about 98, 99 degrees down to about 21.
Right.
It then goes into one of these three vessels in the back, which are the fermenting vessels. So they hold up to about 3,000 litres.
Wow.
At the minute we've got a Hell's in the middle one, Hell's Lager, and then Surfer, which I brewed today, which is a premium bitter. It'll sit in there for about 5 days, and then it'll go on chill, and then we can either send it off for bottling or for casking.
Yeah, right. And that's the end of the process, and then you tap it from there, do you?
Pretty much. So then once it's been put into barrel, we'll put it into the cold room at 12 degrees. You'll get your secondary fermentation in the barrel when it warms up slightly.
Right.
That's where your conditioning comes from. And we'll send it out to pubs, and that's when they'll let it settle for a day and then tap it and vent it and sell it to people themselves.
So like whiskey has to settle down a bit and mature a little bit, your beer?
So that's more for a flavour aspect of it. So brewing is exactly the same as whiskey, apart from it doesn't need to be sterile.
Right,
this whole first process is exactly the same as whiskey.
Yeah.
You just don't boil it. You don't boil it at this stage. You send it straight into a fermenter and let it ferment right down as far as you possibly can.
Yeah.
To get as much alcohol in there, and then they distill it. Boil a lot of it away.
Wonderful. And then the end process, you have some kegs around somewhere,
we have some bottles, and then casks. We have some empty ones here, and some kegs down there as well. So they're 50-litre kegs. We have some 30-litre kegs in the corner, and these are 9-gallon barrels, so 72 pints.
Yeah, right.
We have a couple of pins outside as well, which are the 36 pints, 4.5-gallon ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah.
Right, wonderful. And just take a little go up to the sign here, Wincle Brewery.
A little bit of backstory about the brewery is the neighbour built it by hand. All the chisel marks in the stone are made by himself.
Really? That's a lot of work.
Locally. Yes, indeed.
Yeah. He's a stonemason?
He's not. He's actually he retired 2 days ago from the electricity board.
Really?
He's just a very talented man.
Wow, that's a labour of love.
He is very, very good. And the shop as well.
Yeah.
Both. That used to be an old cow shipping.
Right, yeah. So a bit of history to it as
A
well.
little bit of history, and there's a lot of history around here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a brilliant area to come and visit.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for your time, and happy brewing.
No worries. Thank you.